Heartland Sangha and its teachers. May our virtuous actions be clear from all interferences, and may our vows be fully realized. We especially dedicate these merits to the Seijin initiates of 2024. May their practice of the way manifest through all space and time. And also to Jackie, Mike, Joe, Hazel, Soke, Roger, Debbie. May they have peace and healing. And to Jessica, Donna, Mike, and Keeson at the times of their death, as well as those whose names we now hold in the silence of our hearts. May we live in perfect peace with Buddha Dharma, and may we realize.
You have to read the file bell first, please.
May we live in perfect peace with Buddha Dharma, and may we realize the Buddha way together. Please prepare for Zazen. Dharma school teachers, please meet in the room. And students. sound of the clappers. First and third row turn to the left. And rows 2 and 4 turn to the right.
We will now recite the Song of Covenant.
We, the Daishin Kokuji Sangha, with respect for the worth and dignity of each person, with wonder at the wisdom and compassion we seek to cultivate by practice, and with deep gratitude for the teachers of this lineage and our connection to one another, covenant to support each other by upholding the precepts of doing no harm, practicing good, and actualizing good for others. Please be seated, facing the altar.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. Welcome to not only Sangha, but family and friends, guests. If this is your first time here, welcome, and we're doing something a little bit different today. We have a special ceremony, and it has to do with this issue of growing, coming of age within the realm of our own practice. Most of us that are here, and I think this is true of a lot of Zen Buddhist communities in North America, they're convert communities. Most of us have a spiritual tradition of origin that is not this. And something has brought us to this. And for some of the younger ones, what has brought us to this is our parents, which is something we do. We take our kids to our places of spiritual practice because we want to pass these things on. And so today we are going to be acknowledging a special place, a special moment in the spiritual development of two of our Dharma teens. Long ago, when we first started doing Sunday services, one of the things that came up was this idea that there was a barrier for parents of small children. And we looked around at what other sanghas were doing, and we saw, hey, there's a thing called Dharma school. And it was like, of course there's a thing called Dharma school. Why wouldn't there be? And we established a Dharma school, and it not only removed this barrier for families attending Sunday services, but it gave us an opportunity to lean into this family practice. What is it to engage in the ways that we engage as a family? And over the years, we've had a huge team of people help with this. Just now, our Dharma school is coming back in a little early because this is something we want them to see. And Kincho is bringing them in over the years. Eika, Jigen, Fuzen, Doan Sensei, Kinko, Enmei, Shoan, Christy, Bujo, so many people, so many more than even that list, have assisted with the delivering of Dharma school. And in time, those kids got bigger, as one does. And there needed a new moment to meet. And so this Dharma team program under Eka and Fuzen's direction came to happen. There's a moment where, okay, becoming this mystical creature, the teenager, shifts something for everybody. And we want to meet this well. And so we have this Dharma team program. And now we're at this other inflection point. What is it within the Dharma team's experience that brings them into practicing for themselves and their own experience in the very way that their parents practice in bringing them here? And so we're marking this transition. What is it to be a Dharma teen going through Seijin? Seijin is a coming of age, and lots of traditions have this. And in the term that we've borrowed from our Japanese tradition is more of a cultural thing. People go through this. And we have this within religious traditions across our familiar culture with things like confirmation and bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs. And this is part of this grand experiment. What is it in this culture to grow up Buddhist and to transition from the Dharma school room to the Zendo as your primary place of practice? There's this moment where they now say, this is what I want. This is the path that I want to walk. And we were very careful about making sure that they understood they did not have to do this. And great bows to those people who began this discernment and decided that, nope, not now. We have this in Jukai, we have this in Shoken, we have this in all of our trainings. We discern, is this right? And I'm just so deeply moved by the no answer, not now. Because the no's keep the yeses alive and vigorous, and this is real and not just something you do because you get to an age. And so we have this great moment before us, our first time doing this, by the way. Our Seijin teens for today were very nervous about doing this. What if I do something wrong? And so out of boundless compassion, assembling our liturgy team, I put people in a lot of positions that they weren't necessarily familiar with so that they could be cradled in, we regularly practice, not always knowing what to do next. So they have been studying for, 9 months, 10 months? Since September, we've been studying the foundational teachings of Buddhism. Regardless of your denomination of Buddhism, the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path are at the core of what the Buddha taught. And they studied these, heard teachings on them, and then had to reflect and express how these teachings show up in their own experience. And so today, you all become part of this as witnesses to witness their affirmation of the teachings that they are taking on in this. And so we enter this wonderful moment called the affirmation of the teachings. Now, throughout the service, there will be moments where we will respond in kind. We can, along with myself and the teens, we can acknowledge these teachings with the line, "This is so," and make a little seated bow, and we'll have ominous music from Shugen. So firstly, we need to ask, Charlotte, Nella, if you would please stand. I think you have a mic. When you come up, bring your paper and but not right now, stay there. You stand up. Stand and stay. Up and stay. There we go. clearly ahead of myself. So Nella and Charlotte, who has brought you here today?
We slept over.
Of course you did. There was a Dharma teen retreat last night. And who brought you to that?
She did.
Let's name her.
Aka.
And what is she to you? I feel like a border
Mother.
guard. What's it? That's your. Oh. And who brought you here when you got here?
My mom.
Your mom. Okay. But Nella and Charlotte, this step of Seijin, who is it that wants to take this step?
I want to take this step.
I want to take this step. Why is it
All
so
right.
loud?
The causes and conditions of our lives have allowed us to enter the Buddha way. For this, we pay respects to our families that have raised us. Seijin initiates, please make 3 full bows to your families. Shugen. 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 Let's do the bow. Please come forward. You got your mics with you, right? Okay, good. So, in the story of the Buddha, he goes on this, he encounters suffering, a young prince who seemingly has everything a person could possibly want, but has not encountered suffering until essentially an adult. He's bewildered, and he seeks out in this hero's quest, what is this suffering, and how can I alleviate it? It's a longer story than I'm going to tell today, but in his own awakening, he came to certain realizations, observations of the nature of reality, and in casting off and in the attachments that caused his own suffering, he saw a truth that has nourished countless people through thousands upon thousands of years. We come now to the affirmation of these teachings, the 4 Noble Truths. Charlotte, what did the Buddha teach about the truth of suffering?
Seeing into the nature of reality, the Buddha saw the existence as dukkha, the suffering that pervades the human life.
This is so. Nella, what did the Buddha teach about the truth of the cause of suffering?
Seeing into the nature of suffering, the Buddha saw that it arises from attachment, resisting the reality of what is.
This is so. Charlotte, what did the Buddha teach about the truth of the cessation of suffering?
Seeing the origin of suffering, the Buddha understood that it can end through the letting go of attachment.
Yes, this is so. The rest of the band, we'll try to tighten up a little bit on that. Nella, what did the Buddha teach about the truth of the path?
Seeing the suffering of sentient beings, the Buddha compassionately taught the Noble Eightfold Path, which leads to the resisting of attachments and the end of suffering.
This is so. That's the Buddha taught the Eightfold Path. so that the sentient beings might practice, manifest, and embody the great way. Charlotte, how do you practice right view?
Cultivating a view that is in accord with the Dharma, we recognize the nature of suffering, its causes and remedy.
This is so. Terrified of giving you the wrong prompt. Nella, how do you practice right intention?
Cultivating intention that is in accord with the Dharma, we set our resolve to practice non-attachment, to generate goodwill, and to do no harm.
This is so. Charlotte, how do you practice right speech?
Cultivating speech that is in accord with the Dharma, we take up the practice of using words that are not false, that are not slanderous, and are not harsh, and are not idle.
This is so. Nella, how do you practice right action?
Cultivating action that is in accord with the Dharma, we take up the practice of engaging the world in ways that affirm life and demonstrate respect for ourselves and all sentient beings.
This is so. Charlotte, how do you practice right livelihood?
Cultivating livelihood that is in accord with the Dharma, we take up the practice of engaging in work that is diligent, honest, is fair, and does not generate suffering.
This is so. Nella, how do you practice right effort?
Cultivating effort that is in accord with the Dharma, we put the path into practice, using our energies to develop that which is wholesome and decrease that which is unwholesome.
This is so. Charlotte, how do you practice right mindfulness?
Cultivating mindfulness that is in accord with the Dharma, we practice awareness of our direct experience beyond the push and pull of our own conditioning.
This is so. Nella, how do you practice right concentration?
Cultivating concentration that is in accord with the Dharma, we take up the practice of Zazen, the primary gate of our tradition, embodying the Buddha's awakening.
This is so. To take up the teachings of the Buddha is to enter the Sangha and walk the path of awakening as transmitted by the ancestors and our guiding teachers. Here now, you occupy your own seat, fully conveying the ground on which you stand. So, in keeping with the tradition of my teachers, now it's time for goodies, Dharma goodies. In this process, when we make these transitions, there are markers. And the most obvious one in Buddhism is the Buddha's robe. And its main expressions are in the okesa, the large robe worn over the shoulder, and then the rakusu, which is the little baby version of the same thing. But it does show up in other ways throughout the tradition, including the wagesa. And one of these transitions is that someone who has completed the seijin discernment receives the wagesa worn in the way that we wear the rakusu, at least in the chanting of the verse of the kesa, wearing it at the times when the robe is called for. And it's also a very interactive experience because they will also receive a Dharma name today. Now, this Dharma name will be with them and used within our community, like we accumulate names throughout our lives of mom, dad, sir, hey buddy, or whatever. When people use our names, the aspects of what that version or that expression of our life is comes to the foreground. And so we use the Dharma name of other people so that we can call and those aspects can arise. We're told that it is sometimes the Dharma name is something that is seen in us or something that we should work on developing and manifesting, and deliberately not explained which of those it is. Right? This Dharma name, if you continue along this path, will be part of discussions if you ever go through Jukai, having the opportunity to retain this Dharma name or not. Right? But for now, you'll carry this in your community. Attention, attention, attention. Charlotte has received the teachings of the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path, June 2nd, 2024, Daishin Kokuji, Reverend Rinnan Kaishin. Receive the Dharma name Hyocho, abiding harmony. This is a well-trained sangha. Charlotte, may you fully realize get your hands on that. May you fully realize the three treasures of Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. He makes this look easy. Don't want you to see it really. Nella Gallant, sorry. Attention, attention, attention. Nella Gallant has received the teachings of the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path, June 2nd, 2024, Daishin Kokuji, Reverend Rinnan Kaishin. Nella, receive the Dharma name Renjin, cultivate compassion. These are new in our community. I don't know how to fold these quite yet. Renjin. May you fully realize the three treasures of Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. So we have some formal and some informal Dharma business, though. There's the use and the wearing of this. Okay. And so When we sit in the morning, in morning practice here or at home or at sesshin, there is this practice called the verse of the Kesa. And it is one of the practices Dogen brought back from China. There is a teaching that the robe and the teachings of the Buddha are not separate. And so in wearing the robe, we wear the teachings. And so what we would ask is that all of those with Roxu, going to take them off and fold them up, and you guys are going to take yours out and figure out how we're going to balance these on the head. But if the knot, fold it out under that one, and then the knot for you, you have on the high part, right, and then it's going to go to there. So we place it on the head, and we chant the verse of the Kesa. Okay, this time you actually have to stand up and face the wall. We have a presentation from the Sangha in one of our traditions is the gift of malas. So will the people presenting the malas please come forward? There should be two. There. We'd also like to extend some words of congratulations. Certain people have been asked to do so. So if the parents, Daitoku, would come forward at this time. We got to get one of those mics. Charlotte, could you hand Daitoku one of those? So, Kyocho. Sure.
My name is Daitoku. It is such a pleasure to meet you, Renjin and Hyojo, for the first time. I'm so honored to be asked to do this, and it's so wonderful to have everyone here. All week I've been thinking what I'm gonna say, and so many memories of both of you have come to me and brought me happiness and smiles, and even a couple times I've laughed out loud. So seeing you two pop into the kitchen periodically with the eager looks on your faces, is there anything I can do? And flour, powdered sugar, brownies, the smell of your fresh baked goods, priceless. Sometimes I think there have been more brownies that could have been served, but licking the bowl and the spatula came first. The dharma in the kitchen is never ending. Hyojo, many of you know that this is my grandchild. I am the grandma. So blessed. I'm so proud of you, and the two of you should be so proud of yourselves. Know that the Sangha is with you always. Know that the Sangha is always here for you. So throughout your life, your travels in this world, please lean on us. And some of you may remember from Jukai, put your butt on the cushion. And Hyojo, we don't say paprika.
Okay.
My name is Eka. First, as both of your Teen Dharma teacher for the past 9 years, in some way, shape, or form, I guess, seeing both of you transition from, going in the dojo after service and whacking each other with pool noodles to taking your own seat in this wonderful Sangha has been an honor. Deeply. Kyojo, right?
Kyocho.
Kyojo. I guess what I want to say as words of encouragement is, I'm gonna cry, but that's fine. When you were little, we were in Tennessee, and we were on this hike up to this waterfall or something, and out of nowhere, she goes, I'm gonna go sit zazen on that rock over there. I'm like, what? Okay. And she takes up her position on this rock and is looking over, the Smoky Mountains and sitting. And it was, I have a picture of it, and it's probably an image that will forever be in my head. And what I hope is that throughout your life, you keep finding those moments where you take the time to soak it all in. I've spoken.
One more time. Name, yeah.
Renjin.
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 And
Kyocho.
Kyojo. Kyojo and Renjin. You started the crying. Oh my goodness. You've grown up in this Sangha. You both fit on our laps, both of you at the same time when we started coming here. And you're good friends with each other, despite the challenges that have come all of our ways. I don't even have the words for what's happening right now. I would say that you both have come into your own skin, but in some ways, both of you have always sort of had that presence about you. And so you just continue to come into your own skin. And then I will say, Helena Jane Gallant, our brave, bright light, solstice baby who came into the world. And after a very, very long labor, I looked into your eyes and said, we did it. And I want to say that again today. You did this, and we did this together, and we all did it. This is a marker not just for the two of you, but for this Sangha to have young people be a part of what we do here. And I'm so grateful for both of you to have taken this up. So thank you very much, and I can't wait to see what is coming next for you.
Having heard from the parents, we're going to actually call upon the bonus parent in the case of these two, a representative of our Shoken students, actually. Mubby?
Sorry, kind of. Being Mubby for both of you has been, well, is very special to me. Mubby is what my kids started calling me when they were really little, and now they're friends, and various other special people call me Mubby also. It means mommy, but Mubby is different. Anyways, I was here yesterday when you all were starting your retreat, and I saw you getting ready, and I felt your nervous energies, and then we were doing some sewing, and I came back out, and you all were facing the wall. And the silence that came into this temple building when these two young people faced the wall was just as much as what we feel at our grown-up session. They sunk into it. It was real. And I was so proud of you both. And you've both been such bodhisattvas since you were really little and used to come in and teach us what you learned in Dharma school. That was one of the first things I remember from coming to the temple. And when you've taken the AV practice and the kitchen practice and you've helped with the Dharma school, you're both such bodhisattvas. And your practice for the Sangha is in ways we can't put words to, but we try. And we're so grateful for your sincere and devoted practice. Thank you to you both, and congratulations.
Our plan is to hear from our senior student, and she is here in spirit. So to you from Reverend Shokai, dear fellow students, as you fully occupy your seats in the Zendo, in the Sangha, in the cosmos, deep appreciation and gratitude for your earnest practice. It is a practice that requires courage, perseverance, lightness, and a serious sense of humor. You have accepted the invitation to discover who you really are as you step into the journey of life. May you listen to the song the cosmos sings to you, the spiritual and the mundane, never separate. The snow-capped peaks and the rusty hubcap, the kind word and the ignorant jeer. Always remember that you are boundless without limit, that everything is connected and everything has consequences. May this realization cause you to walk more carefully and lovingly through this broken world with open heart and mind. You are the gift of the universe. You shine with its light. Enjoy the dance even as someone steps on your toes, or you fall over on your own feet. Don't worry, the garden grows itself, the river flows to the sea. Relax, be yourself, be fully yourself, love yourself, and love all beings. Reverend Shokai. So we've done just about all the cool stuff we can do, minus the fact that there is a really cool cake that Bujo has prepared for us. If you've ever seen a jukai or an ordination cake, you kind of know what's going to happen. So at this point, I'll ask you to take your Wagesa bags, and you can go back to your seats. And we are going to conclude by the chanting of, what's that? Sure, thanks. That's awesome. Now I got two. Uh-oh. I don't know what this is.
A final, if everyone take your right hand, please, like this. If you feel like you would like to do that, please do. And then put it to your third eye. Please repeat silently to yourself, wisdom, wisdom, wisdom. Please look at these two. Repeat after me. May all obstacles and obstructions be removed.
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 It is so.
It is so. All right, we will conclude with the chanting of the Bodhisattva vows. These are numbered
Thank you for coming today. There's a lunch potluck right now, so please stick around. Are there any other announcements? It appears not.